gentlemen, welcome to the first time ever doing not just Smackdown, because Smackdown was fairly short this week, but we're also adding Lucha Underground to today's video. Welcome to the first ever Smackdown Underground.
I knew where you were going with that.
We didn't get a chance to watch Lucha Underground yesterday for the midweek wrap-up, so we added it to Smackdown, because SmackDown's only got 3 matches, and they were pretty cut and dry. So we're going to start off with Lucha Underground. We had Dario Cueto make his return to the ring inside the temple. He announces that next week we're actually going to be starting a new Trios Championship tournament. So I don't know if this is... maybe it's for the titles, maybe it's to announce a new #1 contender, because one of the matches that we have tonight is Team Dysfunction, whatever you want to call them, actually giving...
Team Havoc.
There you go. Giving the Disciples of Death their rematch for the Trios Championship.
But it's the elimination style!
Yeah, but we'll get to that in a second, because before Dario can start talking about who the #1 contender is to possibly face Matanza for the Lucha Underground Championship,
Matanza Cueto.
he would be interrupted by Pentagon Jr.
Pentagon Jr.
And Pentagon pretty much says, you know, the only reason Matanza won the championship last week is because I wasn't in the match.
Yeah, and I like that Dario, used, a phrase I don't think you're worthy to be, a championship contender.
Yeah.
And then, that flipped the bitch switch in Pentagon.
Yeah.
He got pissed.
Yeah. Pentagon, grabbed him by the back of his neck and, threw him down to the mat. And
the stupid chihuahua he is.
And he's like, oh, you're not going to give me a championship? Well, then I guess you don't need this arm. And he gets ready to do his little arm breaker thing.
Give me a championship shot? I guess you don't get to masturbate tonight.
So, obviously, put in that situation, Dario does make the main event of today's Lucha Underground, the championship match between Matanza and Pentagon Jr.
Be careful what you wish for, Pentagon.
And then our first match was an intergender tag team match where we had Johnny Mundo and Taya Valkyrie taking on the Crew. This was kind of a slow-paced match. Taya...
It's alright, though.
Yeah, no, Taya did great shit. They were playing a whole thing that, Johnny didn't want to get involved, and Taya was running most of the match, so she was taking on both Cortez and Cisco by herself.
Yeah, so now, I guess, Johnny Mundo's gimmick is that he's just a bitch.
You know. He does get tagged in every now and again. Did kind of a botchy Moonlight Drive on Cisco. A little wonky. But eventually...
He didn't, get the full... he normally does, a somersault over the guy.
Yeah.
He did, a little barrel roll.
Yeah, it wasn't nearly as pretty as the rest of them that he usually does.
Maybe Mundo isn't feeling good.
Maybe.
That's why he's acting all bitchy.
Maybe.
Maybe he's on his man.
Eventually, Mundo tags Valkyrie back in, and he's staying out of... He's trying to stay out of the match. He ends up fighting with Cisco on the outside, and while he's doing that, Cage makes his way down.
Because he's a machine.
Yes. And so Cage on his way down, scares Mundo. This was the weird part, is Mundo got scared and went through the ring rather than around it. So he got in the ring, backed up, and got to the other side, and as he was doing that, Taya ended up getting hit with what we know as the Shatter Machine. What did the Crew call it?
I want to say it was the Psycho Rail.
Yeah, Psycho Rail. Yeah, something like that. Yes, the lift into the what the lung
3D into the
lung blower
/ code breaker /
whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, it's the exact same move that the Revival uses.
Yes, and the Crew picks up the win.
If you don't know what that is, go away.
Then we had Marty the Moth give us a history on the Moth tribe, about how their main things in history was not only their Aztec pride but their wealth. Mm-hmm. They were a very wealthy tribe. Talking about people started taking their money, and when that happened, when things were taken from the Moth tribe, they were then stalked and destroyed by Mariposa. And so the Mariposa mask has actually been passed down through generations, and so the current one, which is Marty's sister, is the most dangerous of the Mariposas.
Yeah, and in order to illustrate this fact, we were given a very Reservoir Dogs-esque bit of luchas in suits all hanging out, and then it got really Kill Bill when a chick shows up and beats them all to death.
It did indeed. Then we had our. Before we have the match, we have a power struggle going on between Katrina and Dario Cueto. Dario trying to strike a deal for them to work together, but Katrina's not feeling that. So she just lets him know that eventually death is going to come for Matanza, but he says Matanza's not afraid of death, and so there's war of words, and Katrina and Mill want control of the temple again. So
Matanza's scared of scorpions and mice.
I feel like you just made that up.
But not death.
He made that up. Then we had our...
Also, pictures of seahorses giving birth.
That is pretty weird.
Because the boy seahorses. That's what freaks Matanza out.
Then we had our Trios Championship match, elimination style. We had our first eliminated was Ivelisse by getting kicked in the face by the Disciples from the outside. Tracy was then eliminated by Angelico with the Fall of the Angels into the corner.
Yep.
Angelico eliminated by a Sinestro botch. He jumped up onto Angelico's back, and then Angelico just kind of collapsed.
I think it's supposed to look like a double knees type situation, but I wasn't sure if they knew what was going on.
It didn't quite work.
I feel like if Angelico would have fallen a little faster,
maybe,
or if Sinestro's knees were a little higher.
It just kind of looked like he jumped on him, like Spider Monkey style, and Angelico just said no, and then just dropped.
I kind of felt like it looked like he jumped on him to do a backcracker.
Yeah, and then
but Angelico just fell forward.
Yeah, Angelico didn't know what move they were going for. So at this point, it is now 2-on-1. Son of Havoc is fighting both Sinestro and Barrio by himself. And then the coolest elimination, Barrio Negro is eliminated after Son of Havoc hits a double stomp. Now usually that would be two people hitting a double stomp at the same time. No, he used both Disciples of Death as jumping stones from the top rope and hit them both with a double stomp, and then did a moonsault onto Barrio Negro, eliminating Barrio. And then Havoc retained the Trios Championship after two dives to the outside, and then hitting a shooting star press onto Sinestro. So
yeah, I think the key of the ending of this match was the fact that Katrina wasn't able to use the power of the Rock.
Yeah, she got
Sinestro because Ivelisse came out and kicked her in the fucking head.
Yeah, she got involved and she yanked Havoc off of the second rope.
Yanked his chain.
It was his boot.
Pulling his leg.
Yeah, there you go. And that caused Ivelisse. That caused Ivelisse to go after her, knock her down, and so the Disciples were left by themselves.
They were left rockless. Because apparently the Rock powers them up like it does Mil Muertes too.
Yeah, it's
everybody's powered by this Rock.
Because it's rubble from where 1,000 deaths took place, and they are the Disciples of Death.
Are the Disciples of Death 3 people that died in the same earthquake?
Probably, maybe. Maybe
That would make sense, I guess.
Maybe that's why they took Arhannes and Ricky Mandel and whatever the other one was as
Mariachi Local.
Yeah, as vessels. Maybe they're vessels for the dead from where Mil Muertes had a big earthquake thing happen. Then we had Rey Mysterio calling out Dario Cueto on his shit, saying that he's the reason that Dragon Azteca is dead.
Dario's like,
I love that. Like at first, like Rey's like, I want to talk about Dragon Azteca. And Dario's like, yeah, it was awesome seeing him in Aztec Warfare last week. He goes, no, that was Dragon Azteca Jr. Dragon Azteca is the guy that came in here, died,
is like Dragon Azteca came into your temple and never returned.
Yeah, and now we've just found out.
I know he's
dead. Yeah. Now we know he's dead. And Daria's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And so yeah, there's some issues.
Wasn't me or my psychopathic murdering brother. Definitely didn't have anything to do with the Asian chick that turned her back on him.
So Dario tries to like sweep everything under the rug, saying, "Hey, you know what? We should just leave the past in the past. Let's have a shot." So him and Ray have a shot, and let bygones be bygones. Maybe, I don't know.
Bajones be bajones.
Then we have Mariposa versus Sexy Star, which is not as good as we thought it was going to be.
No.
It was. I feel like Sexy Star still isn't quite in the mindset of.
No, she's still very afraid of Mariposa. Sexy Star is also afraid of herself.
She can't look into mirrors.
And also afraid of pictures of seahorses giving birth.
Oh, Jesus. Mariposa ends up beating Sexy Star with the butterfly effect, which most people will know as not only a move that Homicide used.
Yeah, Homicide's cop killer / gringo killer, Sugar Shane Helms, vertebreaker.
Yeah. A very devastating
cheerleader Melissa's kudo driver.
There you go. And then we had a post-match beatdown. Mariposa and Marty the Moth beat down Sexy Star and the Mac.
Or as I like to call it, what Christian wishes the kill shot would have looked like.
Yes. And then in the main event, Matanza destroys Pentagon Jr. Pentagon tries.
Yeah, and he had a little bit at the beginning,
but nothing he did phased Matanza. One of the coolest things is he hit the backstabber, and Matanza was able to just roll right off and just stay on his feet and just kept walking around. And Pentagon's like, "What the fuck do I do?" So yeah, he kept just going at Matanza, but it wasn't going to happen. And
beat him on the outside, beat him on the inside,
and
beat him on the sideways.
He was targeting the lower back, which worked out because he would finish him off with the Wrath of the Gods, which is his spinning reverse power slam, picking up the win. And we had Vampiro actually get in the ring to check on Pentagon, and he would get kicked in the face by Matanza, allowing Matanza to take Pentagon out to the outside and actually powerbomb him through the commentator's table. So Matt Stryker's freaking out, we got Stretcher coming in, and Vampiro's freaking out, and Matanza and Dario Cueto are like, yeah.
Vampiro's doing the thing where he's like holding his head and he looks like he's having those sicko flashback dreams.
Yeah, he's starting to lose it.
I might foresee that there could be like a Matanza Vampiro death match.
Let's do that.
Which would most likely result in Vampiro's death.
Let's not do that. I like Vampiro. Alright, let's talk about SmackDown real quick, because most of this was, let's check out Renee and Byron talking from AT&T Stadium.
Which is kind of impressive looking.
It's
huge, humongous.
Big stadium. I'm really intrigued to see how many people are actually at the show this Sunday.
All of the people.
All of the peoples.
All of the people are at WrestleMania. Right now, even though it's not happening.
Our first match was AJ Styles versus Heath Slater. Funny little social outcast promo beforehand.
Yeah, they're the four nominal friends.
God. Yeah, they don't need silly nicknames, right? Crimson Werewolf.
You're right. Radical Mongoose.
Yes, that's me. AJ Styles picking up the win. He had a really cool moment where he hit the Pele on Adam Rose, who was trying to
then did his old trust fall onto Bo Dallas.
Yeah, Curtis Axel had already been taken out, and then AJ was able to hit the Styles Crash, the phenomenal forearm, whatever you want to call it, onto Heath Slater for
Miso soup drop kick.
Yeah, miso soup drop kick. Then we had Devon versus Jey Uso.
I need to go back and just start writing down every weird name that King comes up with for an AJ Styles move.
It's good. Start giving them out to people. Whenever there's a new finisher or a new move that comes in, you're gonna start giving it names.
Yoki Doki Artichoke.
No. All right. Devon versus Jey Uso, getting some last little bit of tension between these two teams before they face off on this Sunday's pre-show. Devon picking up the win over Jey Uso with the RDS, his big old spine buster.
Simmons.
Yeah, his throwback to Ron Simmons. It's a very intense spine buster. It's a good one.
I think the only real thing to note about this match is that the crowd was pro Dudley Boys.
Yes, it's probably because they were in New York.
Meh.
They were still in that upper northeast area, the ECW.
Brooklyn.
No, they weren't. Was it Brooklyn on Raw?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why. It's because they're in Brooklyn. And those people are crazy, and they like those ECW guys. So.
Yeah, the same place where they did all the crazy stuff.
Oh, that's right.
Takeover and SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Right? All back to back.
Barclay Center.
Berkeley.
Barclay.
Barclay.
Then we had our
It's
main
like a
event,
bar
which
of
was
clay.
Dean Ambrose versus Erick Rowan.
The Barclay Center is made of clay bars.
Dean Ambrose versus Erick Rowan.
Much better than Dean Ambrose versus Braun Strowman.
Yeah, Braun stinking up the joint. Erick Rowan actually putting on a decent match.
Which is funny because, like, if this was this time a year ago, I probably would have said the same thing about Erick Rowan.
Yeah,
being
and then we would have been hoping for Dean Ambrose versus Luke Harper, but we can't have that right now because Luke Harper is out for at least 6 months.
But it's okay because we've had a lot of Dean Ambrose versus Luke Harper,
We
and
have.
they've all been fucking good.
Yep. And Erick Rowan is starting to up his game in the ring. He's getting very good.
Well, he's starting to realize he needs to pick up some slack because
Yeah.
Braun Strowman ain't fucking cutting it.
Yeah, but yeah,
World's
Braun's
strongest man can't lift his half of the load.
Braun's weighing the team down, and the Wyatt family is not getting enough as is. So now that their most talented member is out, Erick Rowan's got to start lifting that other end that Braun's like, it's too heavy, I can't get it. So yeah, no, a decent match between the two. No interference from Braun and or Bray Wyatt.
No, they left.
Did they leave? I thought they were still up on the stage.
I'm pretty sure they left.
Oh, well, regardless, they didn't get involved. It was just straight up Dean Ambrose versus Erick Rowan. Erick Rowan falling victim to the dirty deeds.
After giving Dean Ambrose a fucking spin kick, though.
Oh, yeah, he knocked the shit out of Dean Ambrose with that thing. But it wasn't enough. Dean Ambrose picked up the win because he's getting ready to fight Brock Lesnar
Mark
in a
Laser.
street fight.
Bork fight crazy man with chainsaw.
Crazy man cut off Bork's leg. Bork become Pogo Bork.
Bork do unassault.
But that is it for the Smackdown Underground. Up next, if you check out that playlist, we're going to be having some WrestleMania predictions. WrestleMania prediction. After that, we're going to have a... we doing a fusion dance? What are we doing here?
Just gesturing at you.
Oh. After that, we'll be having a review of today's NXT TakeOver. Lots of stuff going on this
TakeOver
week.
the last.
The last Tejas.
The last Teeksays.
All right, yeah. Check out that playlist for all the videos we've done this week. There's a lot of them up there. Enjoy them all. Like them, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. Click the links down in the description. Let us know on the prediction video who you think is going to win at WrestleMania. If you're watching this before TakeOver, be sure to check out the predictions video for TakeOver and join me on the Facebook because I'll be posting live while NXT TakeOver is on. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you at whatever video you decide to watch next.